Nice doggy. Lexus is sending us an RZ450e electric SUV. And let's see what the base price is. Starting at $59,650. So I got some paperwork. Well, not paperwork, it's on the screen, but let's blow it up a bit and see what the price tag is. And here's a price tag along with some of the options. In case you can't read it, we'll zoom in there. And why are they charging us $140 for a cargo mat? Come on, guys, in this price range, you think you can get a mat for free. Well, there's the total. At least it's made in Japan, so we're getting some quality for our money. If you want a Lexus SUV with luxury but more range, we tested the NX450H electric vehicle plug-in. We have a link for that video at the end of this video if you want to compare the two. And for electric vehicle fans, we also tested the Mercedes-Benz EQS 450. We'll have a link for that video at the end as well. Well, here we are at our test facility. We opened the door, rolled it out. Nice paint job. And for everybody out there who hated those Lexus grills they had on their gasoline cars, and still do, they'll be happy to see this. Grill's gone. And we did a night drive headlight video on this vehicle already on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, it'll be part 3 of this video. And the range of this vehicle is 220 miles with 18-inch wheels, or 196 with the 20-inchers, and it appears we got the 20-inchers. At least they gave us some Dunlop tires, a good brand, instead of these cheap off-brand rubber I've been seeing on vehicles lately. And one of the first things we want to do is check to see if there's a spare tire. Well, it's electric, of course not. Although it is an SUV, which supposedly can be taken off-road. Would you off-road without a spare tire? I wouldn't. And here's the charging cable, still new in the wrap, hasn't been used yet. Yep, this is right off the boat. Only got a couple hundred miles on the clock. I did bring my spare tire, flat tire emergency kit, just in case. You should get one too. Here's a charging port. Use the 240 home volt. 9.5 hours they say to charge up. If you use the 150 watt unit on the public chargers, they say it takes about half an hour to go to 80%. I would show you the storage space under this front hood, but there isn't one. The battery takes up all the room, no storage there. And amazingly, there is no glove box. Zip, zero. That really puzzled me, so I did some checking. Apparently there's an infrared heater under the dash somewhere to keep from draining the battery in cold weather. Well, that's fine, but you think they still have room for a glove box. So where do you put your stuff? All goes in the center console. That's it. That's your storage space. Well, let me clarify that. There is a storage panel underneath here where the owner's book is kept. You can place things under here, but not very convenient to reach, especially small objects that are going to fall out. The shifter is a rotary knob. We have a large info screen, but as you can see, we also have a large reflection. In fact, let me just turn it off. Now let's turn it back on. Come on. If you're out on a sunny day and the sun's reflecting in the wrong position, you might have an issue with this. Takes some getting used to. Once you know where all the little icons are, a lot easier to figure out. Alright, getting in the shade, we have less reflection in the info screen, so these are the drive modes you have. Normal, Eco, Sport, Custom. The range mode is very interesting. They gives you the maximum range on the batteries, but also cuts off all your heating and air conditioning stuff, so we don't want to do that on a day when it's up to 100 degrees. Everybody knows in the cold weather, the battery life goes around about 40%, and I guess you could use the range mode to get more miles out of the system if you want to freeze to death. There's one gripe I have every time I turn this vehicle on. I get this warning, parking support brake off. I know, because I turned it off and I want it off. Problem is, this warning will not go away. It freezes the gauge cluster. And everything I do to get rid of it doesn't work until I drive like a mile or two. Then it finally goes away. Now let me draw your attention to this little black screen above the steering wheel. You'll notice two little purple dots on each side. These cannot be seen with the naked eye, only on our screen here. Those are spy cameras that watch your face, and it doesn't look what they see, like you're turning your head or up and down or whatever. It thinks you're not paying attention. You get all these warnings come up on the gauge cluster telling you you're doing something you're not supposed to. I don't like this system. I don't my car spying on me. I don't want my car looking at me. I did everything I can to try to turn this off. I've not been able to thus far, so I think I'm going to have to read a bit more in the owner's manual. I turned off all the nannies on the info screen, and this still is there. And I did try to put some masking tape over the holes, and that was a big mistake. Then the computer really went nuts. Putting warnings off the screen would not shut off, so that trick doesn't work. By the way, I started with 170 miles on the charge. Now after driving 34 miles, well, as you saw, we're down to 100. And that's in warm weather. Interesting. This has the panoramic glass roof. Right now it's on clear mode, but you press a magic button right up here, and it turns solid. It does a pretty good job keeping the sun out, but it does get pretty hot. It will burn your hand if you touch it, so it still heats up the cabin a little bit. And here's what the camera system looks like. Pretty nice. Excellent clarity. Alright, next show and tell. Let's go ahead and do some driving. The power steering feel is a lot better than what we get in other electric vehicles. It actually kind of feels hydraulic. That's good. Certainly no complaints here. Let's check out the suspension comfort by taking some mild speed humps around 15 miles per hour. Here comes bump number 1. Pretty comfortable. Number 2. Pretty smooth. And then the big nasty one. Absorbed that pretty good. A nice comfortable vehicle. 308 horsepower. Decent acceleration. Got a lot of get up and go for sure. Nice brakes. Every week I take a business trip on the highway, 125 miles there, 125 miles back. But taking this vehicle, I'm not going to do that. It just doesn't have the range unless I want to keep stopping for those half-hour charging sessions. I don't want to do that, especially in this heat. So we're not going to do it. City driving only. And I must say, when you are driving the city, I have no complaints. It's a very comfortable vehicle. Nice seats, quiet, smooth ride, great steering, nice brakes. A nice vehicle if you do all your charging at home. And I would like to have tested the infrared heater that's under the dash and see if it really warms up the cabin, as they claim, as well as it's supposed to, but it's 101 degrees outside. I don't think I need a heater in here right now. But the air conditioning is doing a pretty nice job cooling everything off. So the question everybody wants to know, even though they advertise a range of 200 miles, what is the real range? Well, this vehicle was delivered with 170 miles, and I put 61.7 thus far. But it says I only have 64 miles left. So at best, that'd be just over 120 miles. And Car and Driver tested one of these, and even though they had 200 miles on the computer, when they charged it up, they only got 125 miles on the freeway. So I think these numbers are pretty accurate. And this is daytime driving when it's nice and warm, not cold. As you all know, cold driving, you lose 30 to 40% of your range. Man, that put us down a lot less, I think. So what's my take on this RZ450 electric vehicle? Well, if you charge at home and do lots of local driving, fine. But if you do a lot of extended driving or highway trips, I think the Lexus 450h Hybrid / EV is a better choice. And we did a road test on that in the video, and that's coming up. Before we give you the link for the Lexus 450h Hybrid video, let's take these headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. Alright, it's dark enough. Let's take a look at these lights, and I see the Lexus emblem lights up. How cool. And here's the taillights from the rear, go all the way across. Not going to miss that, easy to see. And now the emergency blinkers. Not very big, but definitely bright. Little tiny blinker on the mirror. Can't see it from the front. Wow, very tiny on the front here. Even with the headlights off, not much to see here. And even though the rear ones are small, definitely much brighter. And when you open the driver's door, you get this Lexus emblem on the pavement, so everybody knows you're driving a Lexus, but I guess I'd be looking from an airplane. So let's get inside and take a look at the cabin. The navigation info screen's kind of hard to see in the daytime. Got a lot of reflections, but not at night, so we're okay now. It's very, very big. Put the transmission reverse and you get a nice camera system. And lots of many annoying beeps in this vehicle. That's another part of the video. And not much else lights up in here. Pretty simple. And we do have a heads-up display. I've been trying to turn it off. Haven't found the switch yet. Here we have the low beams on our wall, 33 yards away. High beams. A bit on the low side, but bright enough. Alright, let's do some long distance stuff here. Low beam. High beam. Does reach out, not very high though. You think for the price tag we get active headlights that turn the same direction as the steering wheel is being turned, but apparently not on this vehicle. Too bad, it'd be great for taking corners. Nope, no active headlights. One feature I despise on cars are auto dimming mirrors. Fine for the highway, not good for city driving. Blacked out mirrors in city driving can cause accidents, so I like to switch and turn it off. Some vehicles you have it, some you don't, and apparently we don't here. You can't put a piece of transparent tape over the sensor hole to cut it off or make it less effective. So right now I guess I'm stuck with auto dimming mirror. Some people like it, some people don't, I don't. So let's see how the freeway signs light up. Oh, not too bad. High beam, low beam. And a dark, dingy street test. High beam, low beam. Overall, I'd say the headlight test passed.